My name is HENNIE van der Merwe. I'm the CEO of the Agribusiness Development Corporation based in Stellenbosch. We're essentially a project development and facilitation company operating in the commercial agribusiness environment elsewhere in Africa. So we facilitate the development of commercial agribusiness projects, and we bring the technical expertise to the table to be able to execute projects from feasibility bank to implementation and management. Yeah, obviously, I think looking at the figures, no one can dispute the fact that a large part of Africa is getting drier. And it plays actually into the agenda that we've been promoting for a long time about the need for irrigation. Just to mention one example, in many places Africa is not necessarily drought stricken, there's plenty of water available, but the need for better water management, better water quality management, better water application management, and the fact that it's linked to intensive agriculture, which means that people are able to better utilize the water that they have, whether they've got plenty of water or not. The fact is that with irrigation and with proper management and application technology, the drop can go further, and you can actually, as far as the economic perspective is, produce out of season, which is a great opportunity from an economic point of view, which also makes obviously environmental and economic and business sense. I was actually just talking to someone about two businessmen in Rwanda that I met. They were sitting at a restaurant, and I overheard the discussion. I overheard them being passionate about agriculture and agribusiness, and afterwards joined them, and they said, no, we actually both qualified chartered accountants, but we've discovered that agriculture can actually be a very profitable business. And it links on to what I've said previously. They said we've discovered the value of drip irrigation for out of season tomato production. And the one gentleman was saying, we are so successful on this small piece of land, it's a couple of hectares that they're putting to tomato production, that I'm going to leave my job and focus on farming full time. So he discovered a couple of things. One very important thing is the use of technology. And drip irrigation is not the simplest of irrigation, but if you do it properly, it applies the right amount of water at the right time. Secondly, he discovered the value of out-of-season, high-value cropping, which are both things that we are promoting very actively. The fact that in season there's an abundance of tomatoes available, but out of season the prices peak dramatically. And that's all of West Africa. We've worked in Nigeria and seen it there. But this specifically in Rwanda. The fact that in a very small country with limited land availability, the need for intensive, commercially focused production, and that stands out as one of the success stories which they discovered by themselves, but it was driven by technology. So we're passionate about what technology can do to assist the subsistence, the small-scale farmers of Africa to make the transition to small-scale commercial. Massively so. I think agriculture and the green economy is synonymous, and Africa being an agribusiness-driven continent with huge potential. I think it's an overstated fact, but the fact that agriculture and sustainable agriculture and the circular economy are all terms that's synonymous, and I think would be featured at the summit in future. I think certainly, as far as I'm concerned, there's an abundance of opportunity to showcase some of what's already been done and new technologies. And I think one of the things that I believe we can look at, not only the circular economy, but waste recycling and linking, for instance, black soldier fly production to composting, and the value that it brings not only in fast-tracking the processing of waste, but the fact that you end up with a very valuable product that can go to human, can go to animal use, and you create compost called frass that can go back into the animal of the plant production business. Those are the opportunities that I think is ready and ripe for the African market, and there are now technologies on a smaller scale rather than just large industrial scale technology that we're excited about, that we can hopefully bring to the summit to talk about those opportunities, and specifically from an investor point of view, because if you look at what's been invested in America, you look at AgFunder and where investment is going, this insect protein business has attracted huge funding, but most of those have been industrial scale. Where we're seeing the opportunity for the African market is smaller scale production units. We're currently working with a technology company on testing the first prototype here in Cape Town.